All right, just in case you forgot, please do me a favor, hit that like button, share and subscribe. Share and subscribe. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. I appreciate you. All right, so let's do this. Let's talk about Nedu real quick. Nedu and the ex-wife. We're gonna round up with this. I just saw something that I was like, wow, because I never really got into the Nedu story, the paternity fraud thing so much. I know it's the biggest fear, it's one of the biggest fear of men in Nigeria right now, because there are some reports showing that 30% of people who actually carry out DNA tests find out that their children are not their children, right? That's a high number, okay? And I can understand why men are scared shitless, okay? However, that's not going to be an excuse to move mad in these streets. You have to still know how to talk. You still need to understand that 30%, that's 30% of the test, not of everyone, right? Well, what do you mean? Doesn't that mean 30% of no? It means some people know that these are children. If you are questioning if that's your children, that question unfortunately will not leave you, and I understand that. Okay, so do what you gotta do, okay, but stop trying to sensitize everybody into having fear that they don't have already. That's all I'm saying, okay? Then the other flip side of things is that why would anybody be able to scare you into not sure if that's your children or not? You too. Questionable. All right, so anyway, so this person, some Oloye TD ESQ, okay, he said after Nedu posted DNA results showing his ex-wife gave him a child that does not belong to him, this is what she said. What is your take on this? So I was like, I would like to know Prestige Family's take on this, right? What she said apparently, allegedly, is, I never for once tell him I'm pregnant for him. Wait, what? my son would say, wait, what? Wait, what? She said, okay, I never for once. Roro say, huh? You too, you say, huh? Me too. Like, wait, what? Huh? Right? She said, let me read it quickly to you. Let me just read it to you, because I know that's probably tiny, right? I never for once tell him I'm pregnant for him or the baby belonged to him. He assumed this on his own because we are married. I think he thinks too much, and he can't blame me for this.
Bobby.
Let me read that to you again, just in case you missed it. Let me read that to you again, just in case you missed it. She replies after her husband did a test on her children. Okay, somebody was saying here a few days ago, right, that she requested for another test, but Nedu said, was that you, Natu? That was you, right? That Nedu said, no, I'm not interested, right? And then if she came out, this is allegedly, I saw the screenshot on Instagram, me, I'm just reacting, okay? And she goes, I never for once tell him I'm pregnant for him or the baby belong to him. He assumed this on his own because we are married. I think he thinks too much, and he can't blame me for this. We need to do better. In a marriage, Gigi, yeah, that's what somebody said. I don't know if she said it for real, but it's being posted all over Instagram. But I know some women will say that kind of stuff, but not particularly with DNA test. I know that women when in romantic relationship, women do struggle with accountability. That's a fact. Okay, that's a fact. I'm sorry. Okay, but it's not because it's romantic relationship. Women are very good in accountability with everything else. When it comes to romantic relationships, it's a different ballgame entirely. Okay, so it's something that's very tricky. Okay, but I've seen enough to know that, you know what, that asking for accountability, she's going to respond to your accountability and then she'll be accountable. But you just asking for just random accountability out of nowhere, yeah, it's not gonna fly. Okay, you will just get shamed, you get blamed, you get guilt tripped, right? What is it? Sign language. Okay, it's just gonna end up in unnecessary argument. Okay, so I think that's a struggle. But with DNA tests, that's with paternity fraud. So when you see some men overreact on internet, okay, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. I just want you to keep that at the back of your mind. Okay, keep that at the back of your mind. First of all, that man who is sparring on internet, he don't collect shege from women. That's why. That's number one. They can't cap about that. Number two is that, when you collect shege in romantic relationships, it's a lot. It does numbers on people. Okay, it does numbers on people. So when they now turn around and they now see this kind of situation, and they see this kind of statement, or you see this statement receiving a lot of love, right? It starts to make sense to you that, oh, okay, well, they're not talking about you. Okay, just don't engage it. Just know they're not talking about you. But some women don't show them shege, right? So 30% is high for test. It's high. I think Nigerian and Jamaica are the top of the list around the world. And but there are many reasons for that. A lot of people just marry people that was double dating other people too, right? So it becomes like hush, and it becomes another day. 10 years later, you do. That's an excuse, but there's a lot of factors that goes into that. But it's fraud. If you know and you don't tell, it's still called fraud. It's a lie, and it's lie from the pits of hell, and it can destroy people. You know, and we should never tone it down or say, you want uncle? I mean, what about you too? Nah. Paternity fraud is no. Right? Because think about it. Whenever men do the what about you too, I check them on it, right? So we're checking the other side too. There's no what about you too if there's paternity fraud. And if the numbers are high, they're high, right? Well, you know, there's other excuses that women would tend to give when it comes to paternity fraud. Well, what about all that women take when a man go and have a baby on her or have baby outside of the marriage? I'm like, no, stop. Okay, just stop. That's all I can tell you. Just stop, okay, on that. But let me come to the chat really quickly. Roro say, wow, hello. Mongress Park. We have a term called Mongress Park. No be me and you go be called women Mongress Park here though. But damn, Mongress Park? The level of manipulation not to admit she did wrong. That is a hell of a name. Jesus. Nedu did the interview on his own. Wait, what? Not what are you talking about? Wait, he answered himself? Okay, so I actually need to go watch that interview. I think you shared it with me. You shared it with me, right? I think I need to go and watch that interview with her because that would be better. Maybe we'll do a follow-up. I will hear in between her lines, see if she's the type of person that will say this kind of thing. That's a good point. I need to remember that. She's Delulu, as the kids say. Mongress. That is vicious. Call a person Mongo Park is already like Mongress Park. Yes, paternity fraud is not something we can't sugarcoat it. You know, we need to discourage it. We need to tell people, if you're not sure, if somebody's asking, because a lot of men will ask the hands of a person who is pregnant, hands in marriage, and he is not aware that she's double dating or seeing other people. Some of them is like, oh, they go to school in Ife. This one is going to school in Benin. This one is going to school in Ghana. And then, let's just propose. We've been together, but she's been dating someone else. And now, 9 months later, there's a baby. And you're like, well, it's my baby. Ouch. All right? So that there's a lot of men, the flip side of this, a lot of men walking around the internet painting this picture of worst case scenario, which is already worst. So imagine somebody trying to paint it and drive it in more and more, right? So now I'm convinced that a lot of men will start going back home and looking at their children in the face and say, this baby does not really don't look like me. He's already dealing with insecurity, by the way, right? And it's like, it's like, that nose is not, we don't have nose like that in my family, right? And people have told you that that's your ears, that Obama ear is yours, but you're like, nah, in my family, all of us have the same nose. This nose is not mine. Our gene is very strong like that. Wait, their own gene is from firewood. Our gene is very strong like that. Like, these are not the issues. He's already insecure. He has this, he's questioning the paternity of his children. This is what I tell that man. Go and do it. Okay? Now, your insecurities are not going away after you find out that they're yours. That's number one. If you find out that they're not yours, obviously it's a bad story, right? And make sure you're prepared for the worst if you find out the worst news. But if you find out that they're yours, your insecurities are still not going away. They're your shadows. They follow you everywhere you go. Okay? Just want to let you know. What does that have to be insecurity? What does she have to hide? All of that is questions you get to answer with your own shalaye. I'm just letting you know that insecurity is not going anywhere if that marriage is not ending. And you're going to come back into it and you did test and then you find out that your children, that insecurity are not yours. Some people say, well, just do it behind her. Then I say, remember, this insecurity is not going away. You go still collect shege. Okay?
Sorry, yo.
It's not going anywhere. So what are you saying, Ola? I think you don't enter one chance if you have this insecurity. That's what I'm saying. Okay? So maybe the closest thing to what you can do, maybe some solution. Okay? Maybe, because insecurity is a bastard, especially when it's camouflaged as I need to check if they're my babies. Right? Maybe you can do the test secretly. If she finds out, okay, if she finds out, it's over for you.
You they use your function to play.
Okay, it's over if she finds out. Okay, but if you can pull it off and she never finds out, you can do the test secretly, but engage counseling, coaching immediately. That insecurity is yours, and that's a good thing. Okay, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing when you don't address it. Problems are a good thing. Problems are opportunities. Okay? They are yours. Those problems are yours by default. Okay? What about our insecurities? They're also yours. Oh, ladies, that man insecurity is yours. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, what do you mean? He needs to go and deal with it? No. Yes, he will need to do the work and stuff like that. But if he doesn't do the work, you two will collect. So whatever you need to do to encourage him to do the work without being confrontational, so that you and your children don't collect, you need to do that. Okay? Remember, it's a marriage. Remember, you're doing kiriwa. Remember, you are becoming one effectively. So it's not just marriage. If you're doing kiriwa on a regular with this person, it's the same thing. Okay? Let's not deceive ourselves. Okay? Let's not deceive ourselves. You get it?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
Yeah. I think you get it. Uma Mogopak, he needs to go and study how genetics work. Yeah. It's wahala. It's a big trouble. Insecurity is a bastard, like I said. It will destroy everything in its path. Pride will destroy everything in its path. Insecurity will destroy everything in its path. And so many, many other things. Controlling behavior, manipulative behavior, especially when you mean well. When you're intentional. You're intentionally just trying to make sure everything is right. But somebody keep telling you you're manipulative. And you're like, well, They just don't want to hear the truth. Really? You think? That's why you're gonna keep collecting.
Sorry.
All right, that's it. Let's call it a day. We're right on time.